Hello everyone, welcome back once again to my channel. If this is your first time of joining us, you're welcome. Today we are going to learn on how to sew this Bubu dress. Previously I dropped a video on how to cut it, so today I'm going to make a video on how we sew it. So I'm going to drop the link on this video in the description section. You can tap on it to watch the video on how to cut it. Alright, so let's get started. So the first thing I did was to turn the neck with the facing that I've already cut out. Remember the center I said I'm not cutting open. I'm going to sew it first before I cut it open. So that is the center where I just pointed. I'll place the fabric right side facing each other, and then I'm going to sew it with an inch, half inch. When I get to that line, I'll sew it straight this way, very close to that line, this way, and I'll go round again. I'll go to my machine and sew it, then I'll come back to show you. I've gone ahead to sew it round, as you can see. So the next thing I'm going to do is to cut that center open and then notch the other side. See the way I'm cutting it. So this center is that center that I marked, the one that is going to be open. So I sewed the thread, like I told you, close to that line because I didn't want it to open too much. Just cut it open and notch the round neck. So after doing that, I'm going to go to my ironing table, iron it very well, and then I'll show you how it looks like. So I've gone ahead to iron it down. So you see how it looks like. The center is open, but it is not too open. You notice that it's open, but it's not too wide. It's not even wide at all. That is exactly what I want. So in case you want to sew something like this and you don't want the neck to open too much, you can use the same method I used in this video. The next thing I did was to get the belt measurement, because this Bubu is going to have a belt. So I measured 3 inches wide and 20 inches length of belt. I went ahead to cut 2 pieces of that. I'll sew it, turn it, and then iron it. So this is it. I've gone ahead to iron it. Now the next thing is to measure where I'm going to sew the belt. So turning it to the back this way, I'll get the center of this Bubu. The center is already visible because the crease line is showing there. I'll also mark where the shoulder line is. This Bubu does not have shoulder line. It is cut together. So with the crease that is showing at the shoulder line, I'll use it to know where the shoulder is. I'll mark it this way so that I won't be confused when I'm trying to get my measurements. So from that shoulder line, I'll come down by 16 inches. 16 inches is my half length. So I'm using 16 inches. So from the center to, I will measure quarter of my waist measurement. My waist measurement is 30. 30 divided by 4 is 7.5. So I'll mark 7.5 there, and I also mark 7.5 on the other side this way. I also have to measure the other side too, to make sure that it gets to 16. Then I'll mark. So from these two mark, from the waist to 7.5 inches on both sides, that is where I'm going to place my belt this way. Have you seen it? And sew it. So I'm going to pin it down so that it will be easier for me to sew on my sewing machine. So I'll sew it and then I'll come back to show us the next step to take. So the next thing I'll do is to use 1/2 inch to fold the sleeve for the elastic casing. So I've gone ahead to fold it with 1/2 inch. I'm going to use my elastic to pass through it to form the puff. I'm using 1/2 inch elastic, and I'm going to use my pin to pass it through the casing. Now I'm using the elastic the length of 11 inches. My round sleeve is actually 11, so I'm going to cut exactly 11 inches. So when I want to join the sleeve together, I'm going to use 1/2 inch to join it, making it 1 inch. So the actual length of the elastic I'm using will be 10 inches. So take note, I'm cutting exactly 11 inches as my round sleeve. In case you want to cut yours, you can use that. I don't want my sleeve to be too tight on me, that is why I'm using that measurement. So I've gone ahead to pass my elastic on both sleeves, and this is the result. The gown is almost ready. I'm going to use 1 inch to join both sides together. When I get to the knee, I will stop. I won't join everything because I want it to have opening at both sides. I've gone ahead to sew it, join it with 1 inch on both sides, leaving few inches at the down part of it, as you can see. I went ahead to add my embellishment on it and then put it on my mannequin. So this is our Bubu. If you find this tutorial helpful, please do well to drop your comment in the comment section, and please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you have not done so, so that when I drop a video, you'll get a notification. If you also have a style you want me to recreate, also drop it in the comment section and I'll definitely see to it. Thank you.